On leaving the synagogue, Jesus went with James and John straight to the house of Simon and Andrew. Now Simon's mother-in-law had gone to bed with fever, and they told him about her straight away. He went to her, took her by the hand, and helped her up. And the fever left her, and she began to wait on them. That evening, after sunset, they brought to him all who were sick and those who were possessed by devils. The whole town came crowding round the door, and he cured many who were suffering from diseases of one kind or another. He also cast out many devils, but he would not allow them to speak, because they knew who he was. In the morning, long before dawn, Jesus got up and left the house and went off to a lonely place and prayed there. Simon and his companions set out in search of him. And when they found him, they said, "Everybody is looking for you." He answered, "Let us go elsewhere to the neighbouring country towns so that I can preach there too, because that is why I came." And he went all through Galilee, preaching in their synagogues and casting out devils. So this year we're back into the cycle of Mark readings, the Gospel of Mark. The Gospel of Mark was the first Gospel to be written, and it was written based on oral accounts and on some earlier writings that, if you're interested in, you could probably find them on the internet. Mark's Gospel is a Gospel of action. Get out there and do something. St. Francis of Assisi once said, "Preach the Gospel, and if necessary use words." He was a man of action. Our present Pope is a man of action, like his namesake. And this section of Mark's Gospel that we've just listened to is also about action. So Jesus accompanies the apostles, he enters the house, he raises up the mother-in-law, he cures the mother-in-law, he heals the sick, he casts out devils. And then what does he do at the end of all that? He gets up before dawn and he goes off to a lonely place and prays. And maybe that's the invitation to us. We must be people of action. Our words are not so important as our actions. But at the end of everything, we have to turn back to God and have quiet, reflective time to stay in touch. So this week, maybe you won't be able to find an hour every morning, but maybe you could find 5 or 10 minutes each morning to read a bit of scripture, or maybe just take your coffee outside and watch the early morning sun, or listen to the birds. If it's raining, maybe to sit inside and watch the rain hitting the windows. And just give thanks for your life, for others' lives, and for the blessings God gives us.